Hello and welcome. This is BQ Prime. I am Agam Vakil. You're watching the F&O show, a show in which we take you through all the cues in India's equity markets and related derivatives and the kind of trends that they're throwing up. Before we get into the nitty-gritties and get in our expert, let's very quickly address what's happening in the market. So we did see an opening which was higher than yesterday as far as benchmarks are concerned, with the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty currently trading higher by about a third of a percentage point. But that said, we've also seen them come off from these highs. So in fact, currently the Nifty is trading very close to the 19,500 mark. And that's a crucial level, I suppose. That's the big pivot point that everyone's been watching out for. Let's also take a look at what's happening in the options market. And at least as far as today's expiry is concerned, max OI is around 19,500, 19,400, the respective calls and puts. And the 19,400 calls and puts are also very, very active in terms of addition in OI. So clearly, we're going to watch out for that specifically. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, of course, we move on to the new expiry, given yesterday was one of those. And as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, 44,300 and 44,000 are the two levels that we're keeping an eye on over the next couple of sessions. And that's around where we're also seeing a little bit more increase in open interest. As far as the Nifty is concerned, of course, it's going to be in focus considering the weekly options expiry today. And of course, for now, while we did see about a short covering coming through, follow-up coming through as far as the early morning sessions concerned, over the last 10 minutes, we've seen a little bit of a drop as far as the Nifty goes. So we're going to, with that, take the conversation forward with an expert. We have Nagaraj Shetti. He's a senior technical research analyst at HDFC Securities, who can perhaps help us elucidate further what market cues are telling us about the indices. Nagaraj, good morning, and thank you so much for joining in. Let's start with your view on the benchmark, the Nifty. What's the sense you're making of as far as these cues go?
Hi, good morning, Agam. Nifty has been in a downtrend over the last 8-9 sessions, continuously moving down. Yesterday, we have seen a good amount of upside recovery from the lower levels, and again, Nifty struggling to sustain the high levels. For me, right now, around 19,500 to 19,500, 550 is a strong resistance, and if Nifty manages to move above, close above 550 levels today, then we are likely to see extension of the upside bounce towards 19,700 levels. Inherently, the overall structure of the market remains weak, though Nifty has moved up yesterday from the lower levels, from the lower support of 19,330. I'm expecting this is going to be a sell and rise opportunity if Nifty fails to sustain at 19,550, 500 levels. So that is going to be crucial for the market to sustain the highs, to call for some more upside bounces for the short term. If Nifty manages to sustain, we are likely to see upside bounce towards 19,700 levels. Otherwise, Nifty could retrace down to the recent low of 19,300. And overall chart pattern is also not looking that great. And I'm expecting eventually Nifty could slide down to 19,200 to 19,000 level, which is a strong support zone as of now.
Okay, so the support that Nagaraj has given us, at least in the near term for the Nifty, is 19,200. That's the mark. But Nagaraj, if you can consider the Bank Nifty as well, the trend isn't very different from the Nifty naturally. What's the way forward here?
The same thing, Bank Nifty is also on a weak note, and yesterday we have seen the Bank Nifty placed at the support, and today, however, we have seen some upside bounces. Again, the sustaining above the hurdle of that bounce is going to be very crucial. And at this point of time, 44,300 to 44,400 is going to be a strong resistance for the banking sector. If Bank Nifty manages to sustain above 44,400 level, and it is likely to move towards the next upside resistance of around 44,800 to 44,900 levels. Another 400, 500 points upside rally is possible if it sustains above 44,400. Currently, it is showing weakness from the high levels. showing lack of strength to sustain, and today's close is going to be important. And if it fails to close above the 44,400 levels, I'm expecting this to slide down to the recent low of around 43,850 and eventually lower. Right now, we have a support around 43,800, 850 levels, and eventually Bank Nifty, I'm expecting, could slide below this support in the near term.
Okay. Well, so indices, at least as far as those go, are not looking that great. Before I take Nagaraj's views and calls on a certain handful of stocks, let's address what's really going on here in our market. So I'm going to start off with Marico, which is down around 4.8%. This is after the management has indicated that the volumes growth will be in low single digits, which is extremely subdued. And it is essentially the rural demand which has been weighing down on the volumes, and because of that, Marico is down around 4.8%, and we are seeing some amount of shorts building in. Marico is not exactly the most traded counter as far as futures is concerned, but I reckon that there will be some positions being taken there as well. We are looking at weakness in PNB, RBL Bank, and Bandhan Bank. All of them came out with the quarterly, updates, and they all seem steady, but I reckon that the markets are either taking profits off or they're not. They're perhaps lower than their expectations, which is why there's been a subdued movement as far as these stocks are concerned. And Naveen Fluorine is the other one, which is also down around 4.4% today, with fresh shorts building in there as well. With that, Nagaraj, I take it over to you. If you have any stock calls which look good to you in terms of buying or selling, can you take us through those, please?
Yeah, I have a neutral strategy. I have one long call from the FDO side and one short call. Long call is Birla Soft. BSoft, chartically, if you can look the smaller to larger time frame chart, it has witnessed a phenomenal upside momentum over the last many months. Recently, we have seen a shallow downward correction, which was more of a time correction rather than any significant price correction on the downside. It is sustained above the 470, 475 levels, which is a higher bottom formation for this as per the smaller and larger time chart, and currently making an attempt to break above the consolidation of around 505. So I'd given a call, the long call to buy around the 505, currently at 507, can be added at this point of junction also. And the target, the short-term upside target would be around 530, and one can place a stop loss at 490. Second is Cipla, pharmaceutical and pharma healthcare sector are showing consolidation moment, showing downward correction from the highs, even Cipla as well. Currently showing a range bound moment and placed at the edge of showing downside breakout of the range around 1155, 1156 levels. I'm expecting downward further weakness in the stocks, so one can look for a sell. Actually, I had given a call this around 1170, currently trading around 1160 as well. One can even create a sell position at this point of as well. And I'm expecting a downside target of around 1120 levels. 1120 levels, and one can place a stop loss around 1200. So these are the two stock picks from my side.
Okay. All right, one long and one short call as far as Nagaraj's views and his stocks are concerned. For now, of course, we're looking at subdued movements, and the benchmarks, of course, have come off from their day's highs. The real question is if we can stay in the green, and whether we will see the Nifty close above the mark of 19,500 in today's day of trade. It's very close to that, but there's some weakness that seems to have seeped in over the last 15 odd minutes. But Nagaraj Shetti, thank you so much for joining in and taking us through your views on the markets. And on note, we sign up for now, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BQ Prime, and we'll keep bringing you more.